So picture this. Thanos is dead. Drax finally got him after his whole creepy obsession with Lady Death. But things are messed up after the Annihilation War. Adam Warlock, who's kinda psychic scarred, decides the universe needs Thanos back for balance to fight this huge new threat called Magus. He sticks Thanos in a cocoon, but the Universal Church of Truth finds it and thinks it's holy. They revive him, but it's unstable, chaotic. The Guardians of the Galaxy find out and freak. Moondragon wants him dead now. But Star-Lord and Rocket have this wild idea. Cosmic gods like Eternity and Oblivion might need Thanos for some big plan. Drax, built to kill Thanos, just senses doom. Meanwhile, Nova is chasing an evil version of Quasar who came through this giant cosmic rip called the Fault. He calls for help, and a massive allied fleet, Kree, Shi'ar, Spartoi, Inhumans, even Blastar, shows up. They confront the evil Quasar and Magus, who are working for someone worse. Magus uses these temple ships powered by belief to blow up planets, trying to widen the fault. Suddenly, Nova and the good Quasar vanish in a flash. The fleet is stunned. Back on Nowhere, the Guardian's space station head, telepaths feel something bad. Major Victory, future Cap, warns Thanos has escaped. Turns out, the evil Quasar and Magus report to the undying Lord Mar-Vell, Captain Marvel, but twisted. This Mar-Vell is pissed they haven't found the Avatar of Death and straight up executes Magus. He declares his goal, to purge death itself from the entire universe. Why? Because he's from Universe 10,011, the Cancerverse. Imagine a place where life won so hard it killed death itself. No one dies, but it's a horrific, overgrown nightmare ruled by the many-angled ones, ancient, evil cosmic entities. Mar-Vell made a deal with them to save his universe from cancer, sacrificing Death's avatar in a necropsy ritual. Now they want to spread their perfect, deathless life everywhere. Thanos, revived by the Church, attacks the Guardians but gets tricked by Rocket. They realize the Church blew up planets at the Fault to purposefully let the Cancerverse in. Cancerverse creatures start pouring through, causing Thanos immense pain. He's literally the Avatar of Death in a universe without death. The Nova Corps gets ambushed by the Cancerverse's twisted Avengers, the Revengers, who capture Namorita, Nova's friend, thinking she's the Death Avatar. Desperate, the Guardians, plus Thanos and Drax, jump into the Cancerverse. Thanos is overwhelmed by the sheer suffocating life force and shuts down. They get attacked by the Cancerverse defenders. Back at the Fault, it's a massive war zone. Nova and Quasar fight alongside the Kree, Queen Medusa, Triton, and others. Even Galactus, his heralds, Celestials, and other cosmic heavyweights show up to fight the Cancerverse invasion. In the Cancerverse, the Guardians are losing to the unkillable defenders. Until Thanos wakes up. As the Avatar of Death, he just vaporizes them. Death finally comes to the Cancerverse. Star-Lord realizes Thanos is paradoxically helping this universe by being Death. Meanwhile, Lord Mar-Vell captures Major Victory and others, including Namorita, for another necropsy ritual to solidify their hold. The Silver Surfer explains the Cancerverse's true goal: eliminate the death life cycle everywhere. Then, the ultimate horror emerges from the Fault, a twisted, corrupted Galactus engine, a blasphemous weapon of the Cancerverse. The Galactus engine tips the battle. Things look hopeless. Thanos surprisingly takes charge of strategy, freaking Drax out even more. Mar-Vell learns his defenders got wiped by Thanos and sends the Revengers. Back at the Fault, Nova rallies the panicking leaders. Using a psychic link from the captured Namorita, he forms an elite strike force: Quasar, Beta Ray Bill, Gladiator, Silver Surfer, Ronan, to rescue the captives on Mar-Vell's flagship, Sanctuary. Thanos figures out the only way to beat the Cancerverse is to reverse the necropsy ritual, which requires him, the Avatar of Death, at the original ritual site. Drax, convinced Thanos is the real problem and secretly manipulated by the Cancerverse as the Avatar of Life, confronts him and slaps an anti-matter bomb on his chest. Boom! On Sanctuary, Mar-Vell senses Thanos' death via the bomb. Nova's team attacks, freeing the prisoners, but Mar-Vell is insanely powerful and beats them down. However, Thanos walks out of the explosion. Turns out, Death rejected him, again, making him truly immortal. He vaporizes Drax in rage. Mar-Vell feels this too and flees, blowing up Sanctuary. The heroes escape with the freed captives. Now stuck in the Cancerverse without Drax, the Guardians face the Revengers and meet twisted versions of Scarlet Witch, Captain America, and others. The Guardians, aided by a spy, Scarlet Witch from the Resistance, get teleported to the necropsy site, Ground Zero, where Death was killed. Back in the main universe, things collapse. Nova gives part of his power to Quasar to keep the corpus running and goes rogue to find Star-Lord. At the necropsy site, Thanos analyzes the wound in reality. Mar-Vell arrives with the Revengers. Thanos surrenders, begging Mar-Vell to kill him and end his misery. Mar-Vell performs the necropsy ritual on Thanos, summoning the many-angled ones to restrain him and the Guardians. In the main universe, the Nova Corps makes a last stand at the fault. Sensing his friends are about to die, Nova does something insane. He blasts into the Cancerverse, using every last drop of his Nova Force to free the Guardians, depowering the entire Nova Corps and Quasar in the process. Thanos taunts Mar-Vell about his nobility, and it works. Invoking Death's name during the ritual backfires spectacularly in a universe that killed her. Death answers. She ignores Thanos, again, but kills Mar-Vell, the Revengers, and weakens the many-angled ones. Without their leaders and power source, the Cancerverse invasion crumbles. Enraged that Death still spurns him, Thanos blames Star-Lord. Star-Lord and the now powerless Nova know Thanos can't be left alive or free. Using the last remnants of Ryder's Nova Force and a fragment of a cosmic cube, they tackle Thanos back into the collapsing Cancerverse, sealing the fault behind them. They're trapped, presumed dead. 3 days later, the galaxy mourns. Heroes gather on Hala. Statues are raised for Adam Warlock, Phyla-Vell, Drax, and for Peter Quill and Richard Rider, the two guys who sacrificed themselves to save everything. The Cancerverse is sealed, but inaccessible. The cost was unimaginably high. The aftermath, devastation. Cosmo, the telepathic dog, carrying out Star-Lord's last orders, forms a new super team. The Annihilators. Ronan, Quasar, Silver Surfer, Beta Ray Bill, Gladiator, Icon. Their job? Protect a universe that just lost its greatest champions from whatever comes next. Because in space, the next big threat is always just around the corner. Essentially, it's a story about the ultimate price of victory, the necessity of death and the natural order, and two flawed heroes making the ultimate sacrifice to stop an unstoppable evil and the universe's most dangerous madman, even when the cosmic powers themselves were failing. Heavy stuff, but epic space opera.